New question type, interactive listening. As of May 1, 2023, interactive listening questions will be part of the Duolingo English Test. Interactive listening offers innovative ways to measure proficiency skills used in academic contexts. Perhaps you have already seen this type of question in the simulation. Interactive listening has multiple steps and will contribute to the overall score and skill scores. In addition to this change, the speaking sample will now be scored, and the listen and select questions will be removed. If you want to take the Duolingo English test without these changes, please take the certified exam before May 1st. Here, I will show you the new test sample video, so you can study this new type and be prepared.
Okay, so this is what you're going to see when you reach an interactive listening section. Remember that I told you you're going to get information about what the conversation is going to be about? That's here, so make sure you read this closely. Also, you should know that your timer has started. You've got 4 minutes for the next 5 questions, and this is part of it. So I'm reading this. I know that I'm a student in a journalism class. After today's lecture on reporting, I approached my professor to ask them more about what it means to cultivate sources. So maybe I'm not really familiar with cultivating sources, but I know I'm a student. I have seen a lecture, and I have a question about it, and it's a journalism class. I'm going to start. So again, the first thing you're going to do is pick the best option to start the conversation. This option right off the bat already sounds like what I just said. I had a question about something you mentioned in today's lecture, so I'm going to select that, but I'm going to quickly read the other 4 here and make sure I'm confident in my choice. Okay, I am. I'm going to press next. Looks like I got that one right because it's green here with a check mark, which is great. So listen to his reply. Remember, you can only play these once.
Sure. What was it?
Okay, that's a pretty short one. He just wants to know what my question is. I can see that 3 of the options here right away are questions, so maybe I'll pay a bit closer attention to them. I'm reading through my options. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, looks like I got that wrong because it's red with an X and my response is crossed out, but they do give me the correct response, so now I can keep the conversation going. So the correct response was he was talking about how reporters should cultivate sources. Can he explain that concept a bit further? Let's listen to his reply.
Absolutely. Cultivating sources refers to the process of developing relationships with people who can provide information for stories. This can be done in a number of ways, but some common ones are attending events that potential sources are likely to be attending, initiating conversations, or asking current sources for additional people they may know.
Okay, he's talking a lot about developing relationships with people. These are some possible replies I can give. I'm reading through these. Okay, networking sounds good because it's about, again, creating relationships with people. I'm going to press next. Got that one correct. And now I can actually see the transcript of what he said in that reply. So I have that for the task. Let's listen to his reply.
In a way, yes. But unlike traditional networking where the goal is to meet as many people as possible, the goal with cultivating sources is to develop deeper relationships with key people who can provide you with information that you need about a topic.
Okay, so he was talking about relationships with people, and I already see that this response is about relationships. I'm going to select that, but again, I'm going to check all 4 other options, make sure I believe that's the best one. I do, so I'm going to press next. Got that one right, great. And also notice when I press play, the timer pauses.
It makes your job as a reporter more efficient. Instead of having to call strangers for information or contact public relations departments, you can reach out to your sources and get the information that you need quickly and easily.
Okay, this is my last question. That means I'm about to end the conversation. Let's see what I think is the best. Reading through these options, that makes sense. I'm going to try this one. Unfortunately, I did not select the best response, but they do show me what I should have selected. So now you're done with this listen and respond portion. But look, you still have a minute left on your timer here. You don't want to waste that time. And I recommend going back to the conversation and rereading this whole transcript, because remember, your next task is to summarize this conversation. So I'm going to reread this, and I'm going to make a little mental outline for myself for what I'm going to write when I get to the summary task. Okay, so I had a question. He said, sure, what was it? I said, can you explain the concept of cultivating sources further? He says, yes, he's talking about relationships with people who have information. Ways to do that are attending events, having conversations, asking sources for people they know. I ask if it's like networking. He says, in a way, yes, but we're looking for meaningful relationships rather than many relationships. I say, why is it important? He says it makes your job as a reporter more efficient because you can call people directly. And then I thank him for the information. Okay, so I have that fresh in my mind now for where I'm about to write my summary. So it starts immediately here. You've got a minute and 15 seconds. I'm going to start with the beginning. I asked my professor to explain the concept of cultivating sources after a lecture about the topic. He explained that cultivating sources means to develop relationships with people who may have information for a story that a reporter is working on. What was next? I asked if it was similar to networking. He replied, yes, but the focus is on developing meaningful relationships. I asked why it was important. He explained it makes reporting more efficient. Okay, I've used all my time looking over for errors, and time's up. That is the task.